So just shoot your questions.
Yeah. I can start off maybe.
Yes.
I didn't get you quite well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd appreciate to know your background, and what maybe led you to doing this and what you're doing, and what are your perspectives about what you're doing in the future,
Oh God, I hate that. I hate that question. I hate it. It's so European. Because in every company I went, when I had my first introduction, they always ask, "What's your 5-year plan?" And I was like, "Fuck off! I just want to be happy today. I want to stand up with a purpose, and I want to that the work I do is as good as I can be." That's because in the field of artistic things, painting, musician, photography, filmmaking, you have a lot of competition.
Sure.
So you have to be good at it, and if you have fun learning it, that's the best thing you can have. So if you don't have fun learning it or doing it, like I am filmmaking, just skip it, just don't do it. So just find another way to make money with something that makes you happy and that gets you out of bed every morning, even if you don't get paid for it. Because the first 1.5 years, all my projects I had, I wasn't paid for it. That's where I got into this kind of very competitive field of photojournalism, because I had first have to make this kind of pictures and perfect myself, and then go to the companies and organizations and say, "Look at my pictures. That's how I make it. And from now on, I want to get paid." And then from project to project, you get more paid, and it's kind of. One tells the other, "Oh, who's made that picture?" And then my name is coming up, and then I get the call from them, "Can you please go over there?" So, and that's why I hate that question. I hate it because today I love what I'm doing, but I don't know if I love it in 5 years. Because as a photojournalist, especially in the kind of field I chose, because even as a photojournalist, you can do, the kind of, for me, the boring kind of thing. You go and make pictures of politics and stuff like that. It's kind of a safe thing. Most of the time you can stay in the same city and you have 3-4 newspapers or magazines, and they tell you there's a politician coming or there's something, and just go and make a picture and then you send it over and that's done. So sports photography is a huge field. You go to a football game, and then your thing is making picture of that. So, and I choose the kind of organization between it's a little bit between war photography, but they don't let me do much war photography because I'm a woman. So it's a little bit sad, but
does that
okay.
Make you feel bad?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, does it make you feel like you're discriminated or something?
No, not discriminated, because the thing is, most of the organization are just scared sending me there to Iran, Iraq, Syria, because I'm more likely to be killed or raped than a man. So they are just more cautious, and they don't want to send tiny women there. So something happened, and but the other thing is you also have to know if you can take it mentally, when you see all that kind of things. Yeah. Because I had a friend one time, and he lost it completely mentally. He was done after 15 years of war photography, because he said, someone just got killed on the street. And your impulse as a human being is to try to save this person or to get, some doctors or anything. But what he had to do is take his camera and make a picture while this person is dying. I mean, that's, And the other, it comes back to, what is a newspaper buying? And a newspaper will buy the picture for a high price. when you tell them this person was just dying right at that moment. Yeah, that's a hard thing. It's really, really hard. So after 15 years, he was done. He was an alcoholic and couldn't stop drinking from morning till night because he's had all the pictures in his head. He has to erase them. So, you know, it's a very, very tricky thing, very complicated. And I go more in the field of kind of health organizations like Red Cross or something like that. You know, if they go to Syria, the people are starving because no one is allowed to go in, or they don't have food because, you know, all around they can't move or something. And then I accompany that and stuff like that, something like that. So it's more from this perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you strike the balance between, you know, like your passions and money, you know, because sometimes you're called to do something, but maybe, you know, just because you're a photographer, or maybe like you're saying, maybe you would not be interested in shooting someone who's dying, you know.
Yeah.
How do you strike the balance between, okay, you love doing photography, but then there's so much money being offered on the other side, you know, like how do you get that? Would you go and do because there's so much money in organizations, or do you just like, you know, hold back and say, you know, I don't love doing this, you know? Or you just go ahead and do the shoot?
No, sometimes I get an inquiry. Like I had 2 years ago when they knew that I fly to Africa and will be here in a few countries. And it was not an organization, it was a company, a huge company in Africa, all over Africa, about game hunting. So, and they just want to have an article why there should be game hunting. And they asked me, so the journalist was selected, and they asked me if I can accompany them. And it was a lot of money they offered me, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. So because I don't, for me, my personal opinion, I don't find the way to why game hunting should be allowed. So, you know, and it was just for me, I decided it in a second. Even all of my friends, many friends said, are you crazy? That is so fucking freaking much money. And I said, but I don't want to have it. And the other way, when a company comes to me and tells me, Claudia, can you, we have an event. I find it very boring to to make pictures of an event, you know. But if they say this, that's the money you get, and I say, okay, let's do it. Let's go. But it would never be kind of the things I want to concentrate on. And the most money you can make with photography is wedding. If you want to shoot weddings, that's where you get the most money. I mean, it's in Europe. I got offered, it's crazy. I thought, well, what the fuck? Just one wedding. So it's 6 or 7 hours of work. You're there, you make pictures. At the end, you choose something, and then you send it over, editing a little bit, and you're sending over. And you get paid $5,000. You know, that's crazy. That's so crazy. And I did one wedding. I got bored to my bones. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. So it's just, I could earn much more money if I do something I don't like to do. But then I'm back what I did when I worked in the office for 15 years and did marketing, and it bored me to hell, you know. So, and I truly think that if you do what you love and you get really good at it because you love it, then you start earning money with it.
So you did not choose to do photojournal, but do you make a choice to do the photojournal?
Yeah.
It was a journey.
It was a journey because I was just really interested in making pictures, making photographs, and some friend of mine always said, okay, Claudia, can you come and make pictures, because you have a good eye for kind of, you know, composing a picture and stuff like that, on what kind of light they should stand and stuff like that. So I got into photography and learned a lot of it and made some courses and everything. And then I thought, okay, now I want to, it's a hobby. and I want to earn money with it. So which kind of direction I go? And then I started, doing wedding photography. I also did, European are sometimes crazy. It's when the child is born, you get baby pictures. They come with the baby and say make beautiful pictures with the baby, or even their dogs or cats. It's crazy, I tell you. But so you have a tiny photo studio. Everything is set up, and the people come. You make the pictures. They give you money, and that's it. That's how you earn your living every day. But that's just for me. I couldn't. So, and I knew I would combine it with my traveling, because I traveled a lot. And then I started first with kind of travel photography. That I also found boring, because for me it always has to have a story behind it. So if you go outside and you make a picture of a beautiful mountain or landscape, that's nice. It's but what's the story behind? So, but for everyone it's different, because if someone comes and he says, like animal photography, I'm willing to sit there for 6 hours just to wait for the perfect shot, and I love doing that, then it's exactly that thing this person has to do. Even if I come and say, can I go after 10 minutes? Can I do something else, please? So everyone has to find what he likes. And the thing is, at the beginning, even photography or filmmaking or vlogging, first you have to do it, just try it all. Try it, And what I say, all my students kind of learn everything as well. And then you find out what is the thing you like the most, and then you concentrate on that, So, because I have friends who are amazing photographer when they're inside a studio, when they can put the light exactly how they want to have it, and they have amazing artistic kind of pictures, but they work on these pictures for 2 hours in advance, because the light has to be perfect. It has, everything, the model has to be perfect. So he choreographs it, then he loves it, and he makes amazing pictures. But if I take him with me and do street photography or this kind of projects, his pictures are horrible. They're awful. I tell him that, how can they be? Because he has no, because it's different when you have a studio and lighting, you can adjust. You make a picture and you see, the light is not, then you have the time to correct it maybe an hour.
Create.
Yeah, and you can be just, you have your time to do everything perfect. But when you're outside, street photography or project, you can't tell this staffing person, could you please sit 5 meters here, that the light is better. You can't. So you have to find the right angle or the right thing to do the picture. And you also have to kind of go around and think, what do I want to tell? What kind of picture do I want to make? So, I can go, as an example, I can walk through a slum like this one, and I can decide for myself, I want to have the poorest of the poor, because I want to show the people how poor it is, how whatever, But you also could go through a slum and say, I want to make the pictures of the hardworking people, They're working every day, they're doing stuff, they're selling fruits, they're doing this, they're doing that. So you also have to kind of choose what you want to tell. So not only what the people want to see, it's always kind of, you have to find between your inner soul and what the people want to see. So I would really struggle with myself when we go back to the war photography, make a picture of someone who's just dying and knowing I made a lot of money with it because the people wanted to see that. It's kind of a crazy thing. Yeah. I know if you guys, back then in 5 or 6 years, when the the refugee thing began from Syria. Syria went all over Europe, you know, it was kind of, you know, in inflation. And there was one child, a picture of a child who was drawn. It was a 3-year-old boy. He drawn on a boat full with refugees from Syria over to Europe, to Italy, and it sank. So this boy drowned, and he was swept from the ocean on the beach. And one of the photographers made a picture of that from that tiny little child, and went all over the world. I mean, the photographer, he's crazy rich now. There's just this one picture, because every newspaper, every magazine in the world paid him to publish it. But the crazy thing is, they did it because the people wanted to see that. You know? It's kind of, yeah. So, and it must be horrible to stand there and, you know, because the boy was not the only dead person swept on the beach. There were hundreds. So, you know, yeah. So, yeah.
If anyone has a question.
Yeah, please. Please, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, personally I have a concern as an artist ambassador. I'm always concerned about like the local economy of creatives, and I believe photographers are creatives in one way or another.
They are.
They are artists.
Yes.
So I was just wondering how, or in what way can photographers like come together with the artistical industry or photographers on their own lane, make up a local economy that will be paying for them like locally before they advance their market internationally.
In what kind of field?
In any field that someone ventures into.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question quite right, because I understand. So you have some photographer, a community here locally, where you are like this one, yeah.
Right now, this one is a photography stroke film family.
Yeah.
Because everyone handles the camera here.
Yeah.
And as a result of us coming together,
yeah.
I was just wondering, on your side, since you're talking about like selling pictures and films,
yeah,
I was wondering, is there a way that we can use to come together as filmmakers and photographers to build up our local economy?
Yeah, of course. What you can do, you can get your manpower, your knowledge of all of you kind of together. Create one room, get some lighting, you know, make a studio out of it, as budget as it can be, you know, and then you can say from just around, because you have weddings as well, you know, you have girls who have their wedding day, and they want to have a beautiful picture or something like that. So you just tell them to come to the studio with the husband-to-be, and then you make a few pictures, and you get money for it. And when you get the money for it, you can invent a little bit more in another light or in another camera, all of you together, because, you know, one of you maybe say, oh, it's fun, it's okay for me to do wedding photography to get money. Some other of you are saying, I don't know, I want to do a film for a company who is willing to pay, I don't know, $50, something like that, you know? And you just tell this person he or she should come into the studio. You're making the film there, you're editing, and then you get $50 for it. So, and all of that, or what a friend of mine did in Europe, I don't know if it would work here, it worked in Europe. He did that, he made a huge studio, and every hobby photographer could rent the studio for an hour or two. So all the light and all the setup, you can just go and rent it, and then you make your own pictures. You know, it's like a music production studio as well. You know, you want to make music, you want to sing a song or something, you go there and you pay money to get it recorded. It's like the same with photography, you know.
That was the same initiative I said I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gearing towards that, and I'd be happy when such a space can be open to other photographers, you know. We can combine effort and just make this happen, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've really been pushing towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be a safe space for everyone to access what they need.
Yeah.
Like lighting and all that.
Yeah. And the another step, the next step when you set up this kind of thing, that's very important, is you have to reach out to the people. Mm-hmm. You can't wait back at home or in the studio thinking the people are coming to you. So you have to go out, and you have to
so that's
get yourself marketing or selling. You have to sell yourself, and as soon as you have, I think all of you will have some pictures you're very proud of. You know, you have to take them and you have to go and look, that's the picture I can make, or that's the film I can make. And what I experienced in my time in Nairobi is a lot in the slums around Nairobi. A lot of organizations are coming, you know. Like that was Kismet and the guys are doing, you know. They were fortunate, they had some people, I think, from America who made their videos and stuff like that, you know. But they're not here all the time. So it would be just amazing to have one of you guys, if they have something and they can come to you, one of you, and say, can you make a video of this and that? So, you know, there's a lot of opportunity here. What you guys have, but you have to go outside, you have to connect. Networking is a huge thing, you know. When you do such kind of a studio or everything, or the work you're doing, it's kind of, as an example, animal photography, you know. So no, it's just to give you an idea what to do. So he wants to earn money with animal photography. You're in Kenya, Jesus. You know, the animals are there, millions of them. And there are so many safari companies who has websites, who has flyers, who has social media. And what you can do is just say, I make amazing pictures, you get them just maybe for, I don't know, $100. So you go with them for a day or two to Masai Mara or whatever, national park, you do the pictures, you know, they have to be good, of course. And then you sell them, that's the way, but you have first call them or best is to go to them, because you have to show them pictures, you know, because if you call and say, I'm a photographer, please hire me, I don't think it's gonna work. But you have to come and say, that's the picture I made, you know, look how good it is, I made it, and I could do the same for you. So, and you get, most of the time you get from 10 people you ask, 9 no's. So you have to cope with that. But there will be one who said yes. And then you go further, then you have the second one, then you have the third one. And at one point, one starts, oh, that's a great picture or video, who made that? That was this and that. And then people are starting calling you. So that's the way it goes.
So. Amazing. So you pitch through email, or you just go?
Yeah, nowadays I have my own website. Okay. So yeah, what I do is I sent them an email with a link. Of course, I'm telling them I'm a photographer, blah blah blah, and the projects of the best projects I've done, the link. But most of the time, no one is clicking on the link. Mm-hmm. So you have to call them 2 or 3 days later and say, I send you an email, have you clicked on the link, have you had a look at my pictures? Mostly they say no, or they don't have time, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to decide how important is this organization or company for you. If it's very important, I'm standing in front of their door and saying, those are my pictures. So if you have this in this project, I want to be in it. What can I do to get in it? So, You know, you have to really be pushy sometimes and just reach out. But what I think what you guys have here is you have a huge community, you know. So that's your advantage than I have, because Europeans or Americans, they're kind of, you know, there's a lot of jealousy between photographers and filmmaking kind of people, you know. We say to each other in the face, oh, it's such a great picture, you're such a good, you know, because that's a competition for us. So, but I think you guys have here a community, and it could be easier to get that whole thing started and then earn money with it and get it kind of involved and find out what kind of things you want to produce and stuff like that. So, you know, because the thing what I do, or the journalists from America, Canada, Australia, the first worlds kind of, you know, the richer countries, the magazines, they sent us to countries like Kenya, Rwanda, Jordan, Syria, to cover this kind of stories. But you are here, you don't have to travel far to do this kind of stories. A newspaper in Germany maybe would publish, you know? So, and sometimes it's all could also be you have something that's happening here in Nairobi, and you make a picture or you make a video, you produce it with your own budget, and then you send it to them and say, look, it's a cute, cool story, you want to have it, you want to publish it. If you want to publish it, give me money, then you can have it. So that's also a way to do it, you know?
So I have a question. With your knowledge as a marketer and photojournalism, I don't know if it could be much asking from your side, like if you could act as a linker between the grassroots photographers and filmmakers, and maybe the working group, the people who can reach out the grassroots photographers. I don't know if that one can be possible.
Did I give you my contact?
No, not that way. Like I'm saying, for instance, we are a group of photographers and filmmakers.
Yeah.
Currently, everyone is working on his own project.
Yes.
Or his own projects as an individual or as a crew.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everyone is just putting up the content on YouTube. You see, just there. I don't know if there is another medium for selling photographs and film.
Yeah.
That is compared to like that one of music, whereby we have something like Spotify.
Yeah.
We have something like a lot of sites that are selling music. I don't know if that one is the same to film and photography. Same.
Film, I don't know. I know photography, that's stock photography. Mm-hmm. You have all these websites. I know 4 or 5 of them. And I did it as well when I started out trying to make money. So, and nowadays it's very, because you have millions of photographer and filmmaking people all over the world. So you're not alone. We're really talking about millions, you know? So, and everyone a lot of them make amazing pictures, and they put it up in this stock photography websites. So as a company, you can go online and you can search for it, and then you can buy it for maybe 20 cents. You know, I was speaking about dollars. So when you have one picture, so you made it, you edited it, you uploaded it, so you have to sell, I don't know, 10 companies have to buy this one picture that you get $1, you know? So when you had put a lot of work in it, at the end of the day, you have to decide it, because for me, it was not worth it, because again, I was sitting hours and hours in front of a computer, because I was uploading it, and then you have to label it, you have to, you know, a lot of work, and then you just, at the end of the day, you just get, I was one day I was counting how much I earned in an hour, you know. And it was kind of 50 cents, you know, because you go outside, you make the pictures, you have to think what kind of pictures you want to make, then you go out, you make them, and then if you can upload 300 good pictures, you sit there for maybe a week just in front of the computer to upload it, to label it, to do it, everything. And at the end of the month, you have earned $15, you know? So that's not the thing. What I will recommend each and every one of you, you have to have your own Instagram account. And you have to separate it, or you have to have 2 Instagram accounts. So have one professional where you put your best pictures or videos in it, and you have a private one. Don't mix it. Yeah, because I have some people also kind of, you know, 3 or 4 are amazing pictures, they're cool, they're things. Customers go on your Instagram account, and then they see you in the next one with your friends partying and beer in your hand, and you know, kind of, that's not a picture. It should be in your professional account, because it's also when you send an email or anything, or just a quick WhatsApp to a customer, whatever, you know, the communication is fast. They're more willing to look at your Instagram account or YouTube account if you're a filmmaker, than on a website. So that's the thing. So keep your Instagram account clean, business and private separated. And if you want to earn money, so, you know, with companies, I really recommend even your private Instagram account or Facebook should be clean. So no party pictures, no nothing. You know, always kind of professional kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So since you're here,
Yeah.
are you working on any project, or are you already doing some project?
I've done 3 in Kenya. I've done 3 projects, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I go to Rwanda, and there I have just one project. Yeah. And then I will go to Uganda, but completely private. And then I have some other assignments in Jordan. That's gonna be a few ones. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah.
You're a frequent traveler.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How is it important for photographers to travel?
It depends on what kind of pictures you want to make. Yeah, if you're just being into beauty shots, studio photography, it's best you at one place. If you into street photography, of course it's great if you have a big city. You know, it's not nice if you're in a tiny town somewhere to do street photography. And when you travel, it just helps you to create pictures that are always telling another story. Because the story I tell here in Kenya is completely different than the story I tell in Jordan. Because the culture is different, the people are different. So I like that, because I have to get my head into that, and I know that. But at the other side, when you're on one place and you specialize in one thing, you come to a point where you are a perfectionist. So you know almost every 3rd or 4th picture is just perfect, because you know the light, you know this, you know how the lights or the sun is reflecting from the building when you do street photography. You know you have to go outside at 5 because the sun is just great, and then you can make an amazing picture. So you learn that, and it just makes it easier. Well, when you're outside traveling a lot, what I have to do every time I go to a place I don't know, first I have to walk around, find when is the sun going up, when is the sun going down. The sun is different here in Kenya than in Jordan, completely different, because the earth is different. The earth in Kenya is kind of orange, reddish kind of thing, it reflects completely different than when you are in a mountain where everything is green, and you have mountains where the sun is reflecting. So I make much more worst pictures than someone who's doing the studio photography, because he or she just knows what to do and how to get the right light into the face or whatever kind of thing, you know. So I have to do more pictures. I'll go to a place maybe 2 or 3 times, because the first time it just everything is crap, and then I have to go back, and so. But that's just the way I like it. I love it this way, so that's why I'm keep on going. And one of the main thing a friend of mine told me years ago is you have to do with your work. It doesn't matter what kind of work it is. Animal photography, wedding, filmmaking. You have to find your own unique way. So if he's making a picture of an elephant and he's making a picture of an elephant, both should look different, because you have your own style and you have your own style. So don't make the mistake because you see an amazing picture from one of the amazing photographers, and you think I make exactly the same. It's not. You have to find your own special thing. And if you love it, you know, you look at it and you say you love it, then that's yours. Don't imitate anyone else. So that's that thing.
We've spoken much about marketing.
Yeah.
We've heard about the mood in the picture. You know, I was asking about the camera. You know, some people will be like, you know, my camera is limiting me and all that. You know.
Yeah.
So how does one beat the barrier? You know, like equipment. You know, some equipment are good, others are not good as well. You know.
Yeah.
How does one scale up? You know, like to just be with a good equipment. Or you can use whatever you have to create an amazing picture.
Yeah, you have to be different between filmmaking. The equipment is important. Mm-hmm. That's just, it is like that. But when you make a picture, it's not that important what kind of camera you use. Because I have an old one. This one, I love it. It's 8 or 9 years old, and all of my colleagues are laughing when I come with my Canon, because they have cameras that cost $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, you know. But when you don't have the eye for the picture, or when you don't have a right storytelling for the film, or when you don't know how light is working with your picture, the best camera in this world can make up for that. So really, I have one of the friends I told you who's making amazing picture inside a studio. His camera costs $12,000. $12,000.
That's 1.2 million.
Yeah. So, and he makes good pictures in the studio. When he goes outside, my camera cost back then, 9 years ago, $600. 9 years ago. My pictures are much better than his. So don't, at the beginning, don't think about what kind of thing you have. You have to train your eye, and that the picture you are making at the end, it's not important how brilliant it is, or it's a little bit noisy, you know, it's a little bit, it's not sharp enough. That's not the thing. If the picture tells a story and it's beautiful, and you look at it, like an artist, you look at it and you feel something, then it's a good thing. Then it's a good picture. When you watch a movie or a video for 10 minutes and it bores you to death because the story is not good, the light was not good, nothing is good, but you filmed it with a $10,000 camera, so you have to have the story and, you know, the lighting and everything, and so that's important. And when it comes to a camera, the body is not important. This thing, the object is. So always invest or at the beginning decide what kind of camera you want to have. It's Canon, it's Nikon, it's Sony. That's the three I know of, the big, I'm sorry, yeah.
Fuji.
Yeah, Fuji. Now. So yeah, the battle is always, I have colleagues who say for them Nikon is the thing, that they will never work with anything else and they love it, and I say for me it's Canon from the start on. But the thing is, I have now maybe 6 or 7 lenses. So if I would, what reason ever, decide I want to have a Nikon, I have to buy them all over again. So I invest more money nowadays in lenses and have the 9-year-old body, you know. So because it's for that what I do, it's enough. Yeah. And I just met a acquaintance, a friend, a few months ago, and we were just talking. No one saw any picture of the other person. We just, we knew we were a photographer, photojournalist, he and I, and we talked, and then he showed me his equipment. It was a suitcase. It was, I don't know. It was crazy. It was so crazy, and he had lenses to kind of this kind of things, kind of, and for that you need a special tripod, that can carry, I don't know how many pounds that thing is, and I really was kind of intimidated. I thought, oh shit, he must be really good, he had everything. And then he gave me the website of his pictures, and a few days later I went on and I said, what the fuck? That's awful, because he didn't have the eye for it. And so there was just almost every picture I thought, the lightning, just because when the sun goes down, and the lighting and everything turns a little bit, sometimes you just have to wait 10 or 15 minutes before it hits, and then you have the perfect thing. And he thought, I didn't ask him because I didn't tell him that his pictures are not good, and he's still the thing is, he's just fortunate because he has a lot of money, so he can buy everything he wants, and he's not in the pressure to sell them to a high price and that he has to earn money, but he's struggling to sell the pictures. And we were talking about that, how you make money, and I said, thank God I have my projects and I get paid from the companies or organizations and stuff like that. And and after I saw them a few days later, I knew exactly why he can't sell them. So, and he was just relying on his equipment and not on his talent as a photographer. And that's more important. You even can go outside just with your phone, with your smartphone, and make amazing pictures when you have the eye for it, So that's the first thing I tell everyone. First, you have to train your eyes. As a photographer or filmmaker, you have to go outside. Even if I walk privately and I don't have my camera with me, I have, when I walk an hour on the streets or somewhere, I have 200 pictures in my head I made. My brain is just working like that, or I see someone and see, like you, for example, because the light is so beautiful shining on your face. It's it's a nice picture. And you have to just have this eye for it. And then you make great pictures. And don't think about that the camera is... Because the next time someone comes and shows you I see them so many times walking through the streets, mostly men, I don't know why. So have this thing, and you always think, oh, they must be good. No. Especially in street photography, because when you walk around with such a camera and such a lens, Everyone sees you from a mile away. Oh, there's a photographer coming. As a street photographer, you have to be quiet and silent, and you have to let the people do what they do. So, and you want to capture the moment, because the most beautiful moment, animals, people, street photography, is when they don't know you are there. I mean, you experienced many times how beautiful someone looks, how calm and relaxed and smiling happily, and the second you say, oh, I want to make a picture, you know, the face gets frozen, the eyes get big, and the moment is gone. So that's the thing. Yeah. So don't care about the equipment. Absolutely not. Even when it comes to creating a studio, because you can even, there's YouTube videos I can recommend. I forgot the name of it, but it's someone who does lighting in a studio from stuff you can buy in a supermarket for just a few dollars. You know? Because you can buy this kind of light that shines on you, you know, big ones, small ones, for thousands of dollars. You know, you go to a photography shop, but you can also just get it, create it yourself for really just a few bucks. So, and it's the same.
So what about the difference in performance with this camera, which has a higher shutter count, and the one maybe it's newly bought?
With a higher shutter speed.
Shutter count.
Shutter speed.
Count.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah,
shutter speed, shutter count. Yeah. Okay. The higher ones. And first, they are very expensive. So there we are at the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 mark. It depends what kind of photography you want to choose. If you want to go into sports photography, maybe it's worth it, because shutter speed is, capturing the moment someone is moving. You know.
Running very fast.
Yeah, like someone. Yeah, someone is kind of on a mountain, is skiing down. It's very fast, and you have to make the perfect picture. This person has to be sharp. Then you need a camera who has a fast shutter speed, you know. So then it's important. Or soccer, or the running fast or something like that. But for nothing else. No. Or you want to make just pictures from animals who are running fast. So no elephants, just the fast running things. Yeah, but otherwise it's not important. I never needed it. I'm very happy with my shutter speed. It's enough. And I can capture someone who's coming with a bike, just I can get it. Or a bird in the sky. Just a few weeks ago, I captured a bird who flew down to the lake, grabbed the fish, and flew away. So my shutter speed was enough for that. And still, I say 8 or 9 years, or $600.
So it depends on what you want to do with.
Yeah, it really does, and yeah. But also, some people think that sports photography is kind of exciting. Maybe it is. I don't know. I get bored very fast of it. So, but they're standing around for a friend of mine. He always gets to the Olympics, the summer and the winter Olympics, and he loves it. He got crazy, but he just loves all the sports, and he's loving standing there, because if you're doing winter sport photography, you're standing outside for 9 or 10 hours. It's freezing cold. You can't move because you have your tripod, you have your camera, and you're standing there and you're making picture the whole day. Everyone who's coming down the mountain. So he loves it. You know, that's his thing. He doesn't want to do anything else. And he has his whole equipment is just around sports photography because he loved it. But he started as well like I am. He did street photography, he did this, he did that. And then he knew, okay, that's my field. That's where I want to go. If you want to go that way, you have, then you search for equipment that is specially for this kind of things. But if you do street photography or wedding or studio photography, you don't have to waste your money on a camera who has high shutter speed. It's not important. No. I would always focus on a camera who has a very quick and very accurate focus lens. For me, that's important. That's why I choose and will always choose Canon camera, because the focus is very important. Because sometimes street photography, you just click, you know, you don't have time, 10 seconds to, is it really in focus now? You know, it just click and it has to work and it has to be sharp. And so that's Canon. And I would always, if I want to buy a new camera, always look for the focus, how high, how fast is the focus of the camera. Mm. So.
Heroes.
What is the best way of selling scripts?
Sorry, say it again.
What is the best way of selling scripts? Script writing.
Script writing. What's the best?
Way of selling. Market of selling.
If you just want to sell the script writing for a movie.
Yes.
So for a 1.5 hour movie, you're writing.
Or even a
You're a writer for movies.
Yes. I'm a script writer.
What's the best way to sell that? Networking, marketing. If you wrote something and you think it's good, it's amazing, you have to pick up the phone and have to call people.
Like which people?
Yeah, the people who are making movies. Those. Yeah. And then you take the first you take the first 10 or 15 minutes of your script, and then you send it to them. You send it to them, and then you call and you ask, have you read it? Do you like it? Is this a way you want to go? If they're not picking up the phone or they're rejecting you or something, and you can try it a second or third time. Or what I would do is, if you send it to them and they read it and say, no, that's not ours, you can ask, yeah, but what would be yours? What is the kind of thing you want to have? You know, for example, I don't know what your script is that you have, but let's say it's about a movie about soccer, football, and the one in the company said, oh, yeah, no, your writing is good, it's good, but we want to have a love movie, you know. Then you can decide if you want to make a script 1.5 hour about some love story. You know?
I thought there could be like websites of scriptwriting.
No, because there's so many out there, especially in Europe, and I don't want to talk about America. I mean, LA is full of people who are writing scripts and can't sell them. Maybe they're not talented enough. Maybe they give up too fast. So I mean, you're in Nairobi. You're in the main city in Kenya. I know Kenya makes movies and makes series and stuff like that. So how many companies are here in Nairobi who's making films? Production companies, how many? A few. And I'm sure you have all the addresses? No?
Maybe you can try to look.
You have a list of the producers? No? That's the first thing you have to do. You have to make a list of all the companies who are in Kenya. Then you have to have the names of all the producers. And then you have to send out, and then you have to ask questions, and you have to be pushy, and you have to say, so. There's never, nowhere in the world an easy way. There's nothing you can. If I would just put my pictures on my website, they would be there. No one would care. No one. No one would care. I had to go outside, and at the beginning I had to beg. You know, there were some people because I didn't have the pictures, the things I want to do, and they said no, because first you have to, you know, there's the thing. First you have to have the pictures you want to work for, but you don't have it because you haven't done this work. So, and I really begged at the beginning, please just, or let me be the second photographer. They hired one. I said, it's on my money. I pay everything. I pay my travel over there. I pay for my food, accommodation. Just let me be in the group and let me make the pictures. And please, I was really begging, and they told me no. And I called the next day and said, please, really, please. I will be silent. I will make no noise at all. I'm just want to be there. And maybe you find one or two pictures better than the one of the main photographer. Yeah, if not, no, it's, you know, you really have to be pushy and call again. And so, yeah, that's the thing. Because, yeah, we all choose a field that's very competitive, very, very, very competitive. So, and if you imagine how many singers out there with beautiful voices or rappers, you know, but they will never make it because, you know, yeah, no, they're talented, they're great, or great photographer, but it's the worst thing when you're a singer or an actor or a photographer and you are shy about your work. That's not going to happen, because it's not happening often that someone comes and says, oh, that's amazing, I hire you, you know? So, I mean, even the biggest actors in Hollywood have to always have parties. They invite all the producers and stuff like that. They still get connected over time. So if one of the producers or studios making a movie, you remember the actor. They never stop. They never stop and sitting at home and say, "Oh, I'm gonna get the call from when they're making this or this movie." They're always outside, always networking, always. And the best thing is find friends or get to people who are working in this field already, you know, who are camera assistants or assistants in any kind, you know, just get your feet inside or stuff like that. So you have to ask questions, you have to go around. So until you produced or wrote 1 or 2 or 3 scripts that went into movie, then you're done. Then that's it. Then maybe they will call you and say, "Oh, you made a perfect script for that perfect movie. Please write again." But until you're there, that's hard work.
And what do you think makes a good movie?
Oh my God! This, you know, that's the beauty of it. Even in photography, we could show us pictures, and half of you would say, "Yeah, it's nice, it's good, it's well done," but yeah, and the other would say, "Oh, that's so amazing, it touches me." And it's the same with movies. The movies my friends like, my female friends, I hated Titanic and all the other creepy, shitty thing. You know, I hate it. So they torture me when I have to watch this kind of movies, and I torture them if they have to watch this kind of movie I like, you know. So there's never ever in art bad or good. You know, always think about that. I know if you heard about that, so I always have it in my mind when it comes to art. They made an experiment in, it was in America or Europe, I don't know. So they got a monkey, a teeny tiny monkey, gave him some, what's the name of brushes? Yeah. And something, and he painted pictures. He just threw colors on the thing, and then they took 10 or 15 paintings that the monkey painted, and they put it into a room in a gallery, and they said it's from a very talented artist who's really famous overseas and sold millions for his pictures. And all the critics went in, all the what's the name of it? The people who buy those kind of arts went in, and they were discussing how amazing, and the color, and how he chose the color, and that complements this color with that color. They get all crazy because they thought it's from a very talented artist who's really famous overseas. And then 2 hours later, they brought the monkey in. So what is art? You know, or the thing, it went a painting crazy, painting that went away for almost $1 million, and it was a white thing that you can buy in the store. You know, white, completely white, and he put a red dot on the side. It's done in 30 seconds. $1 million. Why? You know? And they found someone who bought it for $1 million. The only thing you have to do is when you make pictures and videos, they just have to be good, or when you're writing, you know? You can't just make a picture, I go outside and make a picture and say, oh, now I'm gonna sell it. That's not gonna work. So, and if someone comes, and I had it at the beginning as well, when someone comes and says, no, that picture is not good, it's just, Claudia, it's not good, you didn't pay attention to this and this and that, blah, whatever. Of course, it hurt me at the beginning, and I was angry. I thought, shit, I don't know what you're talking about, you know? But when you listen and you get better and better and better, then you can start selling it, and then you find people who will buy it. So, you know? Yeah. But when we come back to Kenya, I don't know if it's a thing or it was just coincidence. I think Kenyan people are very into soap opera, this kind of dramatic kind of thing, right? Yeah, the Spanish kind of thing. I saw many of them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was on the TV. I said, "Oh Jesus!" Yeah, it's like in Spain. Yeah, very dramatic kind of thing. So I don't know, but you know, I think it's always what you would like to watch, what you would like to write about. You have to write about that, because when I don't know if you guys know the story about Walt Disney. The person Walt Disney with Mickey Mouse. Do you know the story behind it? No? Because he was just a tiny, he drew when he started in Hollywood. He was a painter, kind of. And he had this idea. Back then, no one did it. It was animated pictures. So animated like the things you have now, Walt Disney pictures, movies. No one believed in him. Everyone told him it's not gonna work, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, years after years. And with his first company, he opened a company with a colleague and 2 other guys who were painting, and he made They made small movies, you know, the painted animated movies, and he got bankrupt. He lost his company. Few years later, he opened it up again because he said, no, I believe in it. Even if no one else believes in it, the time will come. And then he created Mickey Mouse. And now Walt Disney is one of the most biggest companies in the world, you know? So, but he loved what he did and he believed in it. And that's the key to the thing. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone is silent.
Yeah.
Because we're just absorbing. Personally, I'm absorbing all the
Yeah,
information,
yes.
you know?
Yeah.
maybe
It's
So
it's
much
If you
insight,
can
you know?
tell us what you're doing currently in Kenya, or your project, what is it about?
it was about organizations who what kind of work do they do? It's not solving poverty. It's solving kind of education problems that are still here in Kenya, and because one of the stories was this crazy thing. I don't know why it's maybe because of the British people who were here, but I don't know. The British people went away, but it's still you have to have school uniforms. So, and the problem is that many parents don't have the money for school uniforms.
Maintenance.
Yes, so that's a huge problem, and the awful thing is kind of why just not skip it? Because we in Europe we don't have to wear it, but then you know when you just say that just skip it. The other problem is that then you have the richer children who have nicer clothes, and the poor ones who coming with their kind of a little bit torn apart kind of clothes. So how do you solve the problem? Again, you're coming back to uniforms, and then you're back again but so many people can't afford it. So what are we doing now? That's where it was a project with the government and the organization to try to solve that problem. And as politics people it's kind of we're working on it, we're working on it, back there we're working on it. So you have to be pushy again, you know, that they solve it. And the second project was about I forgot the name of it. I know some tribes still doing it in that was another thing. That was the biggest one because it was a big thing. And the journalist and I, we both, because the magazine just said they want to have a story about it. So because Kenya is one of the countries where it's almost went away. So when you compare it to other countries around in Africa and Sudan and Egypt and stuff like that, that's still very common over there, but it's kind of dying out in Kenya. And the question was why. So why is it kind of, what's the, what happened kind of, you know, in the thinking of the people. And I discussed with the journalist that I don't want to do kind of just a normal kind of story, because most of the time you have the girls or the women sitting there telling the problems they have with what happened and stuff like that. And I don't want to do this kind of story because it's all over, you know, everyone knows, everyone who's heard it in Europe is saying, oh, that's a bad thing, don't do it. Yeah, but you know, that's easy said than done. And I want to have some men who were talking about it and why they want to have it. That was the thing. So why is still the thinking in some kind of tribes in rural area that they want to have it? And the problem was to find men who were willing to talk about it. So that was and the making of the story, the interviews, and my photography were just 2 days. That's all. But the working before, working with the organization, find the women, but the women are very fast and they want to tell their story. But finding the men, and we had so many men. We had 22, because I knew that that many will just storm out somewhere in between the interview, what they did, yeah. So it was a lot of work beforehand to get it, yeah. But then we finished it, the journalist and my pictures, and we sent it over, and the magazine was just amazed. They said, great, that's an angle, no one ever before covered it. Because why do even women, very old women, we had a 78 something women in there sitting, and she was very passionate about why it should still happen, why a girl should be so, and all that has to come in this kind of article and pictures. So. And they're amazing. And after that, we got 3 more projects from this magazine, because they said, great, that's cool. That's something no one before kind of anchored in the story, That's the thing. That's also it has to do with creativity, because what other articles about. I read a lot of articles and what other organizations are doing, and most of them are just going on a stage and say, bad, that's bad, don't do it, it's a bad thing, it should stop. Yeah, everyone knows that, but it's not stopping. So why is it not stopping? Because there's still people out there, not because they want to do harm to a girl or to a woman, because it's just tradition for centuries. So, and yeah, that's the thing. So you have, what we did, the journalist and we read a lot. I think after 4 weeks I was kind of done. I couldn't anymore read anything more about this topic. It was just, but then we knew exactly what we want to cover, what was not covered before, and I also had to watch it many pictures, awful pictures, to know what kind of pictures I want to make, because those are published many times. So find pictures you make. So that's a thing. So the creativity before you start to work.
Yeah. Same project that you worked on. I just had an insight over it. I don't know what your conclusions were over the project, but on my deep thoughts, I think on the same problem, it was instilled to the African people via our traditions and customs that was taught through music and ceremonies that were instilled in a soft power way.
Yeah.
And on my suggestion, I think when we want to handle such situations, we can counteract them on the same basis that they were instilled into people. Because any moment you sing about the traditional songs and ceremonies, they bring an essence of mantra into your head, and whenever you come into such a situation, it becomes addictive, and you have to respect it. So for this new generation, if you want to counter it, maybe we can counter it in a soft power way, using art, music, for the current generation, so that at least they know the essence, the importance and disadvantages of the same stuff. Maybe you can put that into consideration when you'll be next.
When I have the next thing.
As you've said previously, all of the people that are advocating or are making campaigns towards such things, they're just going onto stages and saying, yo, we should stop this, but they're not bringing an essence of giving people something like mantra that they can sing along to, or they can recite each and every moment, so that they go against the odds. So maybe you can consider that.
Thank you.
Maybe
Great input.
I was just suggesting that one because here in here we have creatives. For instance, I was just looking at the bigger picture on a partnership picture whereby creatives can partner with organizations that are working towards such things or are working against or are campaigning towards such situations, so that at least if they use soft power in their campaign, it becomes a little bit easier, and it will be something that is long term.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe you can consider that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.